Hey guys, welcome back to Once Upon a Tiny Farm. My name's Drew. In today's video, we're finally going to get to constructing the raised beds in our new 400 square foot garden, and I'm really excited about it. Glad you're here. Let's get into the video and talk about how you could make the most affordable, economical, and efficient garden in a super small square footage space. So stick around. If you're new here, welcome to our channel. My name's Drew. This year is my third year of growing food for market. I have a little market garden on the other side of our property. I've been selling at local farmers markets, and I wanted to put that knowledge that I gained the last few years with crop planting and put it to good use that might be able to help other people at home that might want to grow some more of their own food. So in the spirit of that gave me the idea to create a crop plan for a really small square footage space. So I'm going to be recreating our very first garden space. Was in a 20 foot by 20 foot area. We tilled it that first year. We got a ton of weeds that came up because we tilled it. That's a whole other story. But we're going to fix up this area that has kind of gotten away from us, and we're going to make it look really nice. We're going to put some brand new raised beds in here. And what we're going to be using to construct these raised beds are these cedar fence boards that I got from Lowe's. These cost $3.98 a board. And the only thing with these boards is they're 6 feet long. But each of these boards has this dog-eared end, so I'm just going to be cutting off that end part to make it nice and flat on the end. That's the only thing I'm going to be doing. Also, I'm going to be using a technique called Shou, which I'm going to bring out my propane torch and char this wood to darken it and close up these pores to allow this cedar wood to last even longer than it would naturally. So I'm excited about that. It's something I've always wanted to do, and now I'm finally going to do it and have a really nice looking dark raised bed. So that'll be great. It'll last a really long time. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. We're going to put these beds together. My plan is to have 4 beds that are 18 feet long by 3 feet wide, and they're going to be roughly an 18 to 24 inch walkway in between each bed. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And in each of those 18-inch beds, I'm going to be dividing it up into 6-foot sections. If you look at our crop plan, which you can find if you go to down in the description below this video, you can sign up for our newsletter, and I will send you the free 400 square foot garden crop plan that I'm going to be following along with in this area for the entire growing season. So you can get that if you want. If you sign up for our mailing list, you'll get that for free. But anyway, each 6-foot section I'm going to refer to as a bed space, and we're going to be planting different things in each 6-foot section of these 18-foot long beds. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to get started right now, so stick around. This is going to be good. Right now, I am just laying out all of my boards nice and flat so that I could come through with my torch and char all of these on this one side, and then I'm going to have to flip them over to the other side so I can char the other side. In order to build the 4 18-foot long beds that I needed to build, I needed to purchase 28 of these 6-foot fencing boards. Each of these beds is going to require 7 of these boards. So yeah, that's all you need to purchase to do it. I think it's a pretty affordable way to build this much raised bed space, in my opinion. So that took longer than expected, so probably going to stop here for today and get back to this tomorrow. But my goodness, like, that looks gorgeous. I've always wanted to do this, and this turned out really nice. Some of the boards I I did a little bit too much charring. Took me a little bit to get the right blast on the torch, because some of the wood was a little wet and I had to torch it a little bit harder to get a char, and some of them were nice and dry, and then I over torched it, so you got to find the right balance. But oh my goodness, look at that. So that's what it's going to look like from the outside, and it's also going to be protected on the inside too, so these are going to last a really long time. Tomorrow I'm going to start putting these together, and we'll get back to it tomorrow. Alright, so I've cut my first 7 boards to make up our first raised bed, and I laid out three boards on one side, 3 boards on the other side, and I have 1 board cut in half, so I have 2 end boards. What I'm going to do with these end boards is I use these, I think they're like 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch scrap woods I had laying around. I cut these to 5.5 inches to be the exact depth of this end board, and I'm going to put these on now. That's going to be like bracing for the corners to connect. So I'm going to put these on actually first here, like this, and this will be the corner piece that connects everything. So that's what I'm going to do right now. You're going to want to pre-drill these holes. I never do stuff like that, but it's better to do that so you don't split the wood. Especially this wood is very thin. So the next step after connecting these pieces to the end boards is I cut 4 pieces of just more scrap wood. What these pieces are going to do is just connect these boards where they end at their 6 feet. And connect it to the next 6-foot board. So this is going to be on the inside, and I'm going to have them connected. And then once these boards are all connected, it'll be one 18-foot long piece on each side, and then we'll connect the ends, hold it all together, and then we'll have our 18-foot long raised bed. This is the easiest way to connect these long pieces together to make this long bed. This is the outside of the bed, and I have underneath a pretty thick piece of scrap wood that I pre-drilled through here, and I'm just going to connect these 2 pieces like this, and then I'll do it down on the other end, and then we'll connect these long pieces together on the ends, and we'll have our beds. All right, so I'm about to fill up my first bed here for the 400 square foot garden, and I just wanted to show you what I'm doing is just putting down cardboard over the existing soil, and basically weeds is what it is. It's not perfect. If I spent a little bit more time here, I could cover every inch of this with cardboard, but what I want to do is get the soil on top of this as fast as possible, because I'm already a few days behind my crop plan here, and I'm going to plant my first crops that I had listed for
April 20th. Today's April 25th, so I'm 5 days behind, but I'm gonna get that stuff in the ground right now. And I'll let you know how much wheelbarrows of compost it takes to fill up one of these 18-foot long beds by 3 feet wide. So let's get to it. All right, so my wheelbarrow holds 6 cubic feet, totally full. I didn't fill each wheelbarrow the entire way. May have gone about 3/4. So let's say each wheelbarrow was, say, 5 cubic feet. I did 6 wheelbarrows full of approximately 5 cubic feet. So I'm gonna smooth this out and see how much more I might want to add, because I would like it all the way to the top of the boards if possible. But I'm gonna smooth it out with my landscape rake and see how it looks. All right, so I wasn't sure when I first poured those 6 wheelbarrowfuls in, but after smoothing it out long ways, and then I had to go side to side with the smaller rake to even everything out, it looks like this is a good amount of soil for this raised bed plan that I have. So I guess it equates to 2 wheelbarrows full for each. Every 6 feet you need about 2 full wheelbarrows, and then we have a full raised bed here. So I'm going to plant my first things that I had planned for my 400 square foot garden, and those are turnips, radishes, and spinach. So I'm going to get all those things planted right now before it gets too dark. One more observation I had after making this first raised bed is it would have been a lot easier to fill with the wheelbarrow if I didn't complete this one end and started filling, because if I left this open, I could have just come in very easily with my wheelbarrow and started in the back and then just worked my way forward and then added the last end board at the end, because it was very hard to get the wheelbarrow over the sides without bending and putting too much pressure on these boards, which are very thin. But I managed to do it, but it would be a lot easier, and it would be a lot easier if I had just waited to put on this end board. But I might do that for the other ones in the future. We'll see, because it would be a lot easier if I just connected these at the end and filled and was able to push the wheelbarrow up to the end and fill all the way down. But just an observation I had, because it was very hard pushing the wheelbarrow over the sides, and I was afraid I was going to snap one of these boards, which are very thin, as you can tell. Another thing I didn't do is cross bracing. I just wanted to see how this first bed would do. Plus, I just wanted to get stuff in the ground and established before things got too far past my date that I wanted to plant things. So I got this close enough to my April 20th date that I had originally planned. But for these other beds, I think I might add cross bracing where I have the wood joined at the 6 foot mark. I might do cross bracing across just to keep the width that I want all the way down. So that's something I'm probably going to add to these 4 other 18-foot long beds as I make them. So after making these first 2 raised beds for our 400 square foot garden, I mentioned that I did 6 wheelbarrows full of compost for each bed. And as you could see, it was pretty adequate at filling up most of the raised bed, but it leaves about 1.5 inches. Some places in the middle, it looks like about 2 inches. So for every 6 foot, that's 2 wheelbarrows full. I think it would benefit more from having 3 wheelbarrowfuls in each 6 foot section in order to really fill up that 5.5 inches, this cedar fencing boards that I'm using for the raised bed. So I don't think I'm going to add any right now, but in the future beds, I might just go ahead and add 3 wheelbarrows full for every 6 foot to get a really nice thick layer of compost in the raised bed that will fill it up to almost the very top of the wood there. And that'll be really good for our plants. But for now, I'm just going to leave it as is because it's deep enough for the things that we're planting to grow plenty. But I think it would benefit from one extra wheelbarrow scoop for each 6-foot section. So that's what I might recommend for anyone trying to do this exactly like I'm doing on your own. Hey, that's going to wrap up this video on building our raised beds for our 400 square foot garden. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a like. I'd really appreciate it. And subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Also, if you want to tune in to exactly what we're doing with this 400 square foot garden, look in the details below this video and you could sign up for our email list and get a free copy of our crop plan for this 400 square foot garden, so you could kind of tag along with us during the growing season. All right? Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.